out still, but they are going to have a weapon wheel with your inventory and all that on it, so you can actually go into your inventory. No, I'm making a multiplayer map right now. We're in a little spring or Silver Ridge Peak. Lab. You have an update to do? Well, let's play this. Alright. I'm going to put the 308 and the 223. Should have hunting shells for both. Well, that has shells for them, but we're gonna do. Oh, the class? You talking about that? Never really looked yet. Um, 7mm is 4 through 9 still, so it's the same. Yeah. It was fixed the last time we played. Oh, it's still fixed or not, I don't know. I do know I looked, watched the video a little bit ago. There's gonna be a whole lot of changes. Graphic changes, uh, feeding times, drinking times, ammo relocation. Like the Aurora, you won't need to, yep. I don't got marked. Looks like it's for elk. Maybe it is marked. Yeah, 6 of them eating here. Yeah. Um, them are hard to get. I see pronghorn over here. 3 on them prawns. Let's get 2 to 4. Right. Yeah, do that, but like I said, that spray don't work the greatest on here, but yep. One of them possible diamond, but you have your chat settings set the share. Yeah, if it's not set the share, they won't hear you.
Be shared. Always allow. Alright. Is there anything else you need me to turn on during this?
Nah, that's for voice.
Alright.
Level 5.
Level 5 on what animal?
Wrong one. Love them popping.
If you can get up close to him with the right gun, that might be, isn't 5 more or less like the platinum? Or whatever? The highest version of them?
Yeah,
Diamond? Yeah.
if I can get him the bolt here, so I can get a good shot.
Take that vital spot.
I nailed him.
Heck yeah.
Not gonna be a quick kill though, because he's still going. So there goes the diamond on that. That's on 3.
Alright. So what I'm using right now as well, and I can't get this bighorn to turn broadside for me to save my life. Did just find another feed zone for him though.
as you go. These blue markers here are their drinking zones. The D is their sleeping zone. Then you got this one here looks like a leaf. That would be their feed zone. This shaded area here reflects a heavy hunting area. In order to get that shade area to go down, you would go somewhere else and hunt, and then it would change colors until it goes back to like this over here. The Silver Ridge Peak is a good map. Good money. Make a map if you're out to make money.
Indeed. Indeed it is, and if you're just starting out, then helpful suggestion, as much as you're going to want to shoot and kill everything to get your money built up, really we found out you need to leave females, and you're better off killing the lower number animals at first.
Yeah, that's where you produce your higher rank, like your diamond stuff. For every time you kill an animal, it will respawn in 3 to 6 days. I think it's 6 days now. It used to be 3. If you make a good kill shot on it, and you don't have to shoot it multiple times, that will give you a better score. And it'll come back a bigger animal next time it spawns.
Yeah, always pay attention to what weapon you're shooting what animal with, too. That's another thing. Like, you'd never want to shoot a pronghorn with the 300 canning. You'll just tear it all up and mess up its trophy rating. So make sure you're using the appropriate guns and ammo for what you are hunting.
Even if you're not hunting trophies, if you're just on the game to hunt, you still don't want to go and shoot everything, because you can wipe out a spawn area and a feed zone or a drinking zone. And if you wipe them out, your population will not be as high. Basically, you want to find as many drink zones, feed zones, resting areas as you can. The more that you have marked, the more population you have.
I believe Cross and myself both found that the 7mm, even though it's a single shot, it's good for most maps, most animals. Pretty easy to get a one-shot kill with, and very versatile gun. And if you're going to the bigger animals, I know I like the 300 cannon.
Yeah, the 300 is good for your moose. Any of them, like your grizzly bear, brown bear. Although the 7mm does good on too.
It does.
Like King said, the 7mm is very versatile on here. But it is a single shot. I wish they'd bring out a bolt action, but they have not done that.
Yeah, and that's something that Cross actually has been talking about, I guess, since we've started playing this game, is wanting a bolt action 7mm, and I gotta agree, because it is a good gun, and if you could get that second shot off a little sooner, then it'd probably be one that I had on me at all times.
But this game offers a large variety of animals, and some of the same animals are on a lot of maps. Moose is an animal that's pretty well on a good bit of the maps.
Yep.
The other thing too is, you know, we're talking about wiping out feed zones, drinking zones, and population. There are animals on these maps that once you start playing, you will figure out that you can shoot an abundance of, and you're still going to see them and see plenty of them. And like the pronghorn I was just shooting is one of them on this map.
Yes. Pronghorn and elk. Elk seem to be very, very highly populated. And black bear too.
Black bear, yeah. I would suggest that you, if you're just starting out, buy the add-on, the dog. It will help you track whatever you shoot, so in case you don't make a good shot. And here's the other thing too, they don't tell you, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you. If you shoot an animal and you do not find it, it will not respawn back in. So look as hard for it as you can. Follow the blood path. Or bring out your dog.
Absolutely. And that's another thing about the multiplayer part that me and Cross have utilized plenty of times is he might shoot an animal and have a little bit of trouble tracking it, or vice versa, even myself. I can go to where he's at, and I can even bring my dog, and he can have him, his dog, me, and my dog all tracking that one animal. So if you have a friend to play with, then by all means, if you're having trouble, call them over. Sometimes, depending on the level of the dog, or you know, just maybe even just the internet itself, your buddy might be able to pick up something you can't, and it just makes it a little funner, a little easier.
And here's the thing though, in order to bring out your dog, you have to, here I'll show you, go into your inventory, you're going to want to go to your tent, and you're going to click on your tent, and you'll see how it changed colors right there. That's how you know when you put it out. R2 button, and it sets it out. Go back in, push up on your directional pad, go over to your gun, and you're going to go in here, you're going to go to your access coach, hit your square button, and then hit your circle button twice, and go down to kennel. Okay. As you can see, I have two dogs. I have Daisy and I got Buford. Both of them are maxed out. Can't get them any higher. Take Buford out on this one. And just back out of your tent. Go right here and hit the square button just down your tent. Hit up on your directional pad. Go back over to your gun. Right there's Buford. You're in a black bear working while on that.
And you'll find that when it comes to your companion, you can buy them treats, and that's cool. You know, it's fun to hand them a treat and feed them. However, petting them, playing with them, all does the same thing. It just kind of makes them happier, and believe it or not, that does matter. The more satisfied your companion is, the better he seems to track and stay on track for you. So as you're running around, just make sure you stop every once in a while and pet him, or play with them, or give them a treat. Keep the love for you up, and when you do need them, they tend to do a little bit better for you. And Cross, while you're at it, while you're in your tent and you're talking to them about using things, we could really help them out and tell them about buying the tents and the tree stands and tripods, and purchasing the same of each one to save spots in your inventory.
Yes, I'll go right here on my tent right now. Actually, trying to remember how to use this dog, actually, is what I'm trying to do.
there's a, I don't have mine out, but there's a button you press and it brings up a wheel in the middle of your screen, and then you can, as far as petting him.
Yep, down on your track.
Oh.
Then you'll take the right joystick to the track, and as you see, he takes off. Now sometimes when your dog's tracking, I mean, you can see him glowing, but he doesn't glow all the time, so you will lose track of him once in a while. You just have to listen to your headset to find out what direction he is. And as you can hear him barking, that means he's on the blood. And he will stay put until you walk up on him. But now there is a time period that if you don't get there in a certain time, you will go idle.
Yes, and if you veer too far away from your dog while he's on the blood track, and I'm not sure the exact distance, but he will leave that blood trail and return back to you if you get very far away from him. So somewhat kind of follow along behind him. Don't just run off your own separate way thinking, oh, he'll go to it and start barking and I can come back to him in a minute.
You can actually, I'm not going to do it just yet, but you can click on the dropping and it'll tell you how old it is. It'll say very old, fresh, and that's how you tell, we can tell how long it's been since that animal has been through there. Everybody plays the game different. I believe in creeping along. It seems to help me get them bigger animals, trophy animals. I've seen videos where people just run and run and run. Well, I'm a hunter in real life, and that's not how we do it in real life. And so I'm not going to do it on here. And I have applied a lot of stuff I have learned over the years from my hunting experiences to the game. Okay, as you hear the dog barking there, that means he has found the game. And basically, I'm just going to walk up to him here. I'm going to praise him. And you see how the content showed up over there, where it says he's content. That's how you make him happy. And after he does it a few times, I will give him a treat. So you just walk up to your trophy and get square on it. And as you can see, that was a left lung liver shot, which is a kill target, and it is a diamond. So there's another diamond for me.
Nice, nice.
I have a lot of diamonds.
Indeed. How many of them trophy rooms do you have now? 2 or 3?
Yeah, I got 3. And you can send it to the taxidermy, which is what I'm going to do with this one, because all my diamonds, I have that done, and I put them in a lodge. So you just hit your triangle button, it'll come up, and you just click X to OK, and then hit X again, and it's in there. And now you can go into your lodges, and you can actually, and I'll go through that on a total different video one day. Just hit X to accept, and you see your cash reward up there. And then that's how you find your animals.
And be careful with your money too when you first start off until you get some built up, because every once in a while you will find an albino or a piebald or I don't remember the name, it starts with an E, but even one that's all blacked out. Special fur types, and you get all excited and go to throwing everything you kill in your trophy room and run out of money, and then you kill one of them. You can save it for a while, but just be careful and be aware of what you got on you as you're out hunting, because you never know what you're going to come across.
Right. And as you've seen just there, that was a black bear. Now, I could have waited and seen the level of it for the trophy rating. But like I said, they are plentiful. So if you're making money or wanting to make money, and as you can see right here, I'll show you, this is how you know you actually made a vital shot. See that splatter of blood right there? That's a vital shot. He shouldn't go too far. I shot him with the 308 assault rifle. Yep, right down there he lays. Don't even need the dog to track this. Here's a blood splatter. You walk up on it, hit your X button, and see, I have my cone thing built up so it's smaller, but as you're first starting out, it will be wide, and mine's smaller, so I have more of a direction of where he ran. As you see, it is actually pointing right down to you. And as you click on the blood, here, I'll do this one up here, it'll tell you low bleed rate, very low, medium. The blood rate, his health is 25 to 50% right there. And I have my coloration on the outline of the animal in white, because it's a lot easier to see.
And that's another good point too that you just brought up, is that this game actually is pretty good about giving you options as far as the outline of your dog, the outline of animals when you spot them, the outline of animals once they die. I mean, you can literally adjust every bit of that, and on each map, so that if you're on a map that has a lot of red undergrowth, well, you wouldn't necessarily want a red outline. So,
right,
that's another cool feature that this game has.
There's another black bear, level 2 female. That's the other thing. Your females will show up with a pink, and your males will show up with a blue. That's how you tell the difference in the sex of them.
And you heard Cross a minute ago talking about his dogs being fully leveled up. When you first get one, they won't be. So I highly suggest, even if you do see the animal that you shot, go on and have your dog track them. Because that's kind of how they're going to build up. And they have traits as well, just like your hunters do. So not only does your dog level up, but it has traits that you can go put points on and unlock to make it better at certain things as well. Mel joined?
Yeah, she's not in chat. She sent me text on the side of the screen.
Right.
And your black bear, the best shot you can have is broadside. Whereas you seen that one standing up a minute ago. When they stand up, you want to shoot them in the front, right dead square in between the front paw legs. That's a small female, so I'm gonna let her go. There's that female pronghorn right there. And I'm gonna put out my tent again. I'm gonna go in here and as you can see down there by my tent symbol, it says 20. And that's what he's talking about. I'll tell you here in a minute. Go in here, go to the coach, and go to the store. Okay, you got your rifles. There's a lot of rifles. Some I don't even fool with. Well, there's a lot I don't fool with, actually. You just go over and you scroll down, you got your 270. I only have the Stradivarius version. And then you got your 300 cannon. Like I said, King was saying a little bit ago, it don't tell you on here what level they're good for, as far as ammo ranking, but if you go into their bullets, it will tell you like level 4 through 9 or 4 through 10, and each animal has its own level. Your moose and your bison, your grizzly bear, all of them are high level animals. Now that don't mean you're going to get more money for killing them. That just means they're harder to kill. So you're going to want to take a bigger weapon like the 300, or like he said, the 7mm is a all-round gun. It's just a chain that it's a single action and not a bolt action. It is my favorite gun. I just wish it was bolt action. If you're trophy hunting, it would be a excellent gun for you, but if you're out looking to make money, not so good. Because like King said, you have to reload after every shot, and that takes time. Therefore, the animals are already on the run, and you're only probably going to shoot maybe 1 or 2 of them. Then you have the .6, which is a good gun on the game. I'm not a big fan of it in real life. And your 303, I use the 303 a lot. It is another one that is a wide variety gun on here.
Yes.
Muzzleloader. If you like to muzzleload hunt, they do have muzzleloaders on here, and it is like shooting a real muzzleloader. You got the smoke, you got to reload it after every shot. Pretty cool. Then you have your big gun that is for like the Cape Buffalo and the Water Buffalo. Of course, now the 300 and the 7mm, I use the 7mm on them, is also good for them. You don't always have to have this cannon here, although I do have them. I have used them, I just a lot. And then you have the 22, comes in different versions, different guns. King has one that I don't have. What was that?
It's the 22H. It was supposed to be a little more high-powered version of the 22, but we found that ultimately the regular 22 does just about as well. So for the price, I'd say just stick with the normal 22 long rifle.
And then as you watch videos on this game, and they are a ton of videos out for this game. It is a highly populated game, or popular game, I should say. And but you're going to find out that a lot of them guys streaming, they use the M1, and I'm not a fan of it.
No.
Anybody can take a rifle that is semi-automatic and go shoot a bunch of animals. I mean, it just doesn't matter. There's no sport in that. So, I mean, I'm not putting down those who use it. You know, different strokes for different folks. I'm just not a fan of it. I play the game to have fun. I mean, get on here with the guys, and I've been gaming with them for many years. Me and King's been gaming together for 15 years, and we have been through every game together.
Indeed.
He is not just a friend, I consider him a brother.
Likewise, sir.
And then you got your 6.5. Now, King has used 6.5. He can tell you more about than I can.
I have. As far as the range, it has excellent range. However, if you look at the stats on the bullets, the penetration and expansion just doesn't do it for me. Ultimately, I would use the 303 in just about any situation that I would want the 6.5 or whatever it is, Creedmoor. I don't know. Again, I have used it a lot because I like that gun in real life, but the 303 can match it pretty well.
I agree. And when you're first starting out, they're going to start you out with a 243 Ranger. I do not suggest you shooting moose with it.
No.
No. We have tried that off the get-go, and it just does not work. You will be trekking that animal until you find no more blood, and you will not get your animal, and therefore you have wasted a long time. Time flies by on this game.
And do believe that moose run. I mean, I'm assuming it's like in real life. I've never been moose hunting in real life, but on this game, if you do not get a excellent shot on it, you will track a moose who will zigzag back and forth, up and down for a long time.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you this, tell you a little story about me and King game together one. Got a moose. King and his dog went to trekking that moose. That moose made one huge circle and come right back to where he shot it and I shot it and killed it.
Oh.
All the animals on here, yeah, that was on Yukon.
Yeah.
All the animals on here will make a circle. If you shoot them and you're tracking them, sooner or later they are going to reappear back to where you shot them. I don't know why. That's just how the game is. They may change that in this upcoming update that will be coming out June 28th. There are going to be a whole lot of changes on this game from what I was watching in the video. Graphics, animal feed time, drinking time. They're going to repopulate it. Tons of map. And they're going to move the animals around to where the animals have a larger area that they cover. Because most animals on these maps, it's like if we was on the Yukon, you only find the grizzly bear on the right hand side of the map in Yukon. Now we'll get back to the guns, and as you can see, you know, I've got every add-on to the game and every map, but I have put a lot of money into this game. It's, like I said, it's one that it's one of my favorite games. It is. I hear a bear walking by me. And that's the other thing too. A decent set of headsets is awesome for this game because you can actually hear their walking, their calls, all that. Not saying it's imperative that you get a good set of headset. I run the Astro A40s. What are you running now, bro? I can't remember.
Just a pair of Turtle Beach. I believe it's the 600s, but...
And they do have a pellet gun on here. Now, the pellet gun, I've not had so much luck with, but my brother-in-law actually has used it to kill an elk.
Don't try that.
Yeah.
don't waste your time doing that. Kill rabbits, kill maybe turkeys, possibly ducks if you can get in range, but know that the drop on that pellet rifle is what you would expect in real life. I'll still say that was luck that he killed that elk with that pellet rifle.
They are all kinds of guns on here, like the Whitlock 86. It's a 30-30 lever action. It is basically what you expect out of a 30-30, like in real life. Not real powerful, good for whitetail, stuff like that, pronghorn. I wouldn't advise bison hunting or anything with it. As you see right there, they do have the AR, which is what I'm using right now, the AR 308. If you get the add-ons, you get them free. They have the AR 223 and the AR 22, which still is mind-baffling why they brought out another 22, but they did. I thought they would have come out with a different variant of the AR, but they did not. They have the 22, 223, and the 308. The 308's good, and the 223 As you've seen, I took that pronghorn down, that diamond one with it. But you've got to make a good kill shot on it. And then you just hit your circle button, and then you'll go down to the handguns. In the handgun selection, hit your X button so you can stick on them. You got the 44 Panther Magnum, kind of a letdown. In real life, 44 is pretty powerful gun. On here, not so much. The 44 Wildcat Magnum, the 22 Defender. Now here's another story for you. I had to play around one night. Me and King decided we were going to go and hunt water buffalo with these 22 pistols. And we actually killed water buffalo with a 22 pistol, but we shot, what, like 80 something times, bro?
Yeah, we were having to run circles around it, just empty magazine after magazine.
Now, it was fun. I mean, don't get us wrong, it was fun. And we do things like that occasionally, like take the four-wheelers and jump off cliffs and stuff like that. And then you also got the 357, which is another letdown on this game. It is not like in real life. It does not have the power it had. 45 Colt, never fooled with. I do have it, I just have never fooled with it. And you got the 410 45 Colt, which King has fooled with, I have not.
Yes. I actually like it. For rabbits. That was my preferred use for that particular pistol.
And then here's the one I use. The 454 Assault Rhino.
Yes, sir.
Now I have shot animals out to 200 and some yards with this pistol and killed them. Not suggesting you do it, but I have done it, and that's the other thing me and King and my brother-in-law have done. We have gotten on here and we have seen who can make the longest pistol shot kill. Who can make the longest rifle shot. Now I have a kill with the muzzleloader at 354 yards on a black bear. I do not suggest it, but I did it.
That's for those times where you've spent days and days and days doing right and hunting right and making sure that your animals are populated and getting your trophies built up, and finally you just need a break. Finally you just need something to laugh about and just have a decent moment on a game, and then we do something off the wall like that.
Right. And then you got your shotguns, and there's a few of them too. I mean, it goes from 20 gauge all the way down to 10 gauge. Different variants of each one.
There's a 12 gauge cross if you're looking at them. It's a 12 gauge, I believe it's semi-automatic. It starts with a C. I don't remember the actual name, but by far my favorite of all the shotguns.
Who so? It's a pump.
I believe it has a wood grain stock to it. I'd have to set up my
it's a and they do have what they call a drilling rifle. Brother-in-law has it quite often.
Had issues switching back and forth in between the rifle barrel and the shotgun part of that weapon, though. Too many times. I'm assuming it was just a glitch. Maybe they've got it fixed by now since the last time I used it. But when it did work, and you could switch in between the two, it was actually a decent weapon.
Right. And they have bows. You got conventional curve, and then they have compound bows, and they have rock crossbows out. Last year, I think they come up with them. They are pretty good. Your bows are pretty deadly on here. Your recurves are kind of hard to use. It takes some getting used to. We have used, and we have killed with them. Again, we did one of them funny moments with them where we were actually slicing. I'm going to show you the rifle ammo now, and as you can see on the right hand side, it shows you your expansion, it shows you your penetration, effective range. Don't pay a whole lot of attention to the range because I shoot way farther. Would it recommend? And it shows you your classes, and you'll see as right here, 2 through 3 is good for 2 through 4. And like I said, your animals have different classes, so this is basically the pronghorn, good for your white-tailed deer. But with it, you're going to have to make a good shot. I mean, I killed that pronghorn that down there just a little bit ago with it, but it's not suggested if you're just starting out. I would go with a higher fired gun. I have played this game a long time. I know where the kill area is. I do not suggest shooting them from behind, even if you have a quartering away angle. It is not suggested if you just starting out. For those experienced, yes.
And do not think that if you get a headshot on one of these animals that it will be like it would be in real life. Not tell you how many times we have shot an animal in the side or back of the head, and it act as if you just grazed it. So go for the heart, lungs. It's going to be your best bet.
And then you have your arrows for your bow, and once again, it does recommend class. They have different sizes, 300 grain, 400 grain, whatever have you. Your rifle scope, do not use the most powerful rifle scope in the game. It is, the sway on it is unreal. It is hard to use. It's hard to keep on the animal with it. You're going to want to go with the second highest scope, and stick with it, and then you have different scopes like your muzzle loader, as you see there, and you have a crossbow scope, and your pistol scopes, which is all stuff that you just don't get this stuff. You have to do career mode or even on multiplayer and get XP to earn all this. And they'll tell you what you have to do to get it. You just gotta look at it and find out. And then you have your lures, your antler rather, it tells you what it's good for, effective species, it tells you the range, the duration, the attraction, and that's the other thing that I wish they would change in this game, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But there is also, click on the X button. You're going to go down through here, and as you see, moose call, elk call, deer grunt call, and it tells you what everything works for. Predator, jackrabbit, raccoon call, your red deer call. The red deer, I have more diamonds in red deer than any other species on the game. And your wild boar, and as you scroll on down, you see your turkey call there, and then back out of that, and we'll go down to scent. As you see, you got black-tailed deer scent, elk scent, moose scent, mule deer scent, musk deer scent, which I don't even pull the musk deer. They're Just an animal with vampire teeth. That's how I'm going. They're a deer with vampire teeth. And then you got your decoys, and we have done some goose hunting. It's done on Herzenfeld. I'm not a huge fan of that map. Huge map, it is a huge map. But the animal population is not the greatest in the world. Consumables, as you can see right there, dog treat, doggy biscuits as they call them. And you got your first aid kit to heal you, which I've never done. And your scent eliminator. That is a huge thing, but it is way too expensive. It is $3,000 for 10 sprays. That is way too expensive. I ain't never figured out why they have it so high, but they do. And of course your dog biscuits are $4,000. And you get 25 of them. Some of the stuff on here, the prices are just unreal. You're going to need money, and lots of money off the get-go, but you've got to do it carefully and not wipe out your need zones and your population. So I would suggest, for starters, to hunt pronghorn, to hunt black bear. Do not hunt the whitetail heavy. You can and will wipe out their population. I did on Layton Lake before we figured out what we were doing on the game. And to get my population back up on Layton Lake, I had to actually go into like King's map, and I had to go into like my brother-in-law's map, and you can have them back out while you are in their map, and you stay in there and you got a game, and you gotta go into your tent and you gotta change something in your inventory, but it will take their population and put it on your map. That's how I had to restock my whitetail on Layton Lake, because we completely wiped out my whitetail population. I had none. And then you got clothing. I've been wearing the same outfit for I don't know how long. Probably stink. And here's a huge one, your backpacks.
Yes.
You have to buy bigger backpacks in order to carry more stuff. Yes, it raises your noise level while you're moving through the woods, and your noise does affect the animals. That's another thing about your dogs. They do pay attention to the dogs. It's not a huge thing, but they do pay attention to the dogs. I've actually caught the animals running off because of the dogs. But you're going to want to upgrade your backpack to a bigger size.
Here would be a good point to tell them what I brought up a minute ago about buying the same of each thing to save the slots that you have. Like, pick your favorite colored tent and buy 4 of that one tent rather than buy a green one, a red one, a purple one, because of how it stacks.
Right. As you can see right here, I have only 2 of the blue tent, but as you've seen, as I went in my inventory in-game when I put my tent out, I had 20 of the camouflage. I cannot take and put the 20 of the camouflage and 20 or the 2 of the blue in my inventory at the same time. That's why you buy multiple of the same thing. It don't matter where you're carrying 1 or you're carrying 50 of them, it will fit in your backpack as long as it's the same thing.
Right.
That goes for your tents, it goes for your ground blinds, your layout blinds, your waterfowl blinds, your tree stands, tripod stands, all that. Buy the same thing. Don't buy, like 5 of this one and 5 of that one and think that you're going to carry all 10 in your backpack, because you're not. If you buy all 10, if you're wanting 10, buy them of the same thing, and you can carry all 10 in your backpack. And here's the other thing you got to watch out for. This is huge. Yeah, you see I got a lot of money, and I have had over $1 million on this game multiple times. And I have went through and stocked every one of my mats with tree stands, with tripods, with tents, so me and my friends can just fast travel to my tent and not have to worry about carrying a tripod or a tree stand or a ground blind. They can just get in what I already had on my map. Well, there is a problem with getting blue screen on this game, and I hope they've gotten it fixed. Like I said, it's been a while since I played it. But if you get blue screen, you lose absolutely everything that you have out. It don't care. I don't care whether you're on one map. It will take them off every map that you have.
Yes.
I have lost millions and millions of dollars because of that blue screen.
Yeah. And even if you say, oh, well, I don't care about the money, think about the time it took him to know, okay, I want a tree stand in this spot on this map. I need a tent on this spot. On the amount of hours Cross spent running around, setting everything, placing everything, knowing the times, knowing the spots. Go. Just go. Got to completely start over. So, yeah. And that's happened to you, what, 2 or 3 times?
3 times.
Yeah. So, be aware. Keep a couple tents, keep a couple tripods, keep your guns, keep some ammo. Maybe set a few things out, but no need in going crazy for it.
No, and here's the other thing too, we found out. Now I can put my tents out. And yes, if I get blue screen, it will take them off. But it does put them back in my inventory. I do not lose them anymore like I was. But you still lose your tree stands and your tripods.
Yep.
So what money you have spent on them and you put them out, you will lose them. Now your friends can and get in your tree stands and your tripods if you have them out. That's a good feature. I like it. That's the way they ain't gotta carry it. But like I said, you take a chance and lose. And they can fast travel to any tent you have out. See if I got anything out on this game. You pull up your map, and like I said, you can see, like right there, that's where I highlighted an animal.
I'm not far from you right now. I'm just to your west. I'm a little purplish colored dot, and on my screen crosses a reddish dot, and that's how you find your friends.
Right. Well, I'm not showing any tents out on this map. I thought I had them out. I'm pretty sure I had them out.
No, this is one that once you open up all the outposts, which is another very important thing to do, that we've got quite a few, and it's a big map, but depending on the area you're in, there's no need in having a lot of tents on this one.
Right.
I don't feel anyway.
Well, what I do with the tents is, King tell you, if you see you get on the game with me and you see a tent, there's a reason why that tent's there. And that's because that is a highly populated area that I like to hunt, and it is plentiful of animals. That's how I mark my hunting areas, and I have searched these maps from crevice to crevice, finding them areas.
Cross, I'm going to throw one of our complaints out there just in case anybody else hears it or wants to bring it up or knows somebody that can work on this game. When it comes to the water, seeing as how we cannot fish on this game, then I think the water should be low enough that we can cross it at any point, or we should be able to carry a canoe, an inflatable raft, something, because you will end up on maps and you will end up in areas where you want to go just right there, just right across a real narrow passage, but you can't, and you end up running 3 miles out of the way to get around that body of water. So another good reason for having tents out when you do get to places, since you can't just cross the water and we don't have an option to carry anything with us that will. Knowing those places and having a tent out where they are saves a lot of time of tracking around these lakes to get just across the small gap.
I agree.
Come on, inflatable raft.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind the water being deep because your lakes and stuff should be deep. I think that you should be able to, like in rivers on Yukon, man, give us a boat to get across there. Let us have an inflatable raft in our inventory, something that's going to help us out so we don't have to go way, I mean, that's like if you shoot an animal on the other side, you have to go way out of your way just to come back. There's got to be an easier method to that. I wish they would find something to do that on. And they tried it on Mississippi, the map on Mississippi.
They did.
But they should have more areas where the boats are. I mean, you got specific areas on there, and once again, if they would just allow you to have an inflatable raft, then that would change that whole aspect, and you can just build across wherever you want. But not to get you guys wrong, if you're going to watch this video and you're listening to us and going through this with us, we're not complaining. It's just stuff that would make the game better, although this is a great game, don't get us wrong. We have spent a lot of time on here. It is a great game. There's just stuff that could be done to make it a whole lot better. And like I said, we've been gaming for years. So, like your hunting games, your war games, all that, we've got input on everything that can make games better that we wish would get done, but we know ain't gonna get done.
And with a wide variety of people too. I mean, we've gamed with females, we've gamed with people in other countries, we've gamed with people just all over the world. This is not coming from a just us, just here, just now perspective. It's like you said, 15 years of doing this together. So, but while we're talking about the water, you want to tell them about your little cougar experience up here?
Yes.
Just so they know?
Here's the other thing too, and I'm going to take you right to that area and fast travel up.
Okay, I think he did this on purpose. I know Sooner made it to him and he's going to fast travel away. You see how he is?
The fast travel you're just going to go to, like it's like on here, your lodges, you'll open them up. It is imperative that you open up them and all the overlook off the get-go.
Yes.
And just hit your X button and click on fast travel.
Again, another great thing about playing with someone. I can go to his map. Whenever they come out with a new map, he can take a four-wheeler, I can take a four-wheeler, and spread off in different directions and open need zones and open outposts and open everything to hurry up and get that done so you can start enjoying the game and the map and the animals.
Right.
So it is cool that your friends can join you and help you get that done, because sometimes they are over huge areas and quite a few of them.
Yeah, this is the area here, called Twin Falls. This is one of my favorite areas to hunt. I don't put a tent out here because the lodge is right there, and usually by the time you leave the lodge, you're seeing animal, like right there. Never built. That is the female. But this area here, if you can look out there across in my scope, you'll see a lake. Okay, around that lake, there is usually a lot of black bear, now certain times of the day, a lot of black bear and a lot of cougar, or mountain lion, or panther, whatever you want to call them, because this game calls them all different things. To me, they're all the same cat. But I shot one that was a possible diamond right on that bank right over there that I'm looking. And it ran down in and died in that lake. I could not retrieve it. Now, the animals that run into the water and die are supposed to float and float towards you. Well, for some reason, They do sometimes, and they don't sometimes, and that was one time it didn't, and it was a possible diamond. I was pretty upset. So you're going to want to watch shooting animals around the waterways. If you do, you're going to want to make a complete quick kill shot on it. That would be in the heart. There is no quick kill in the lung or anything else. It is only a heart shot. And for like beginners, once again, the heart shot is a hard shot to hit. So watch what you're doing. And for those experienced, they know where to hit it. So.
And that's the same for the out-of-bound areas too. Know your map, know where you're at, because the animals can tend to cross lines where the borders are that you will not be allowed to cross as well. It doesn't happen often. Usually they're not there, but it has happened once or twice, so just be aware of where you're at.
Right. You can go in and change the time of day too. I'll show you how to do that here.
Which is very, very helpful.
Yes. Because when it becomes afternoon, it's like in real life. You're not going to see a whole lot of animals. There's a morning, and I have morning and evening places, and I have morning and evening all together place where they're there both times. But sometimes there's places on these maps where they're only there of a morning, and sometimes only of an evening. But once again, you are going to want to carry a tent with you at all times. Now that's whether you carry a tree stand or a tripod. That is, I mean, you can always put out a tent and pull out what you want, but a tent is pretty well imperative that you carry.
Sorry, phone call. Who doesn't love a little bit of jelly roll, right?
There. See how that one dropped immediately? That will be a heart shot. And as you can tell, I just shot clear across the valley with a 308. You get them up close for me, and I have trouble hitting them, you put them way out there, and they're dead.
And he's not kidding. I laugh about that all the time. If it's within 100 yards, may or may not be vital. You put him at 400 yards, he drops them every time. It's pretty amusing.
And here's the other thing I'm going to mention. The animals will run you over, and they will attack you and kill you.
Especially the lions in Africa.
Yeah, one hit from them and you're dead.
Right.
But the cougars will, the black bears will. And here's the other thing I wish they would change. You got animals like the cougars, the panthers, whatever you want to call them, and the bears, the grizzly bears, the brown bears. They are not as aggressive as what you would find in real life, and I find that kind of disappointing. Not that I want to be killed by them, but we do occasionally like to have fun with it.
Absolutely, and about the only animal that we've ever found that we can get to charge us and be in a more or less standoff, run around fight is the water buffalo.
And the Cape buffalo off the Africa map. Yep.
Right. Everything else will tend to run. It'll usually hit you as it's passing by and keep going, but be careful on the four-wheelers too. You will not be able to run over even a rabbit. You'll hit it and
it'll take away some of your life, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been driving down a road and just like in real life, all of a sudden a few deer run out in front of me, but I'm on a four-wheeler and end up slamming a deer at full speed, just almost dying.
Right.
Whoa, wait a minute.
The maps they have brought out, there are a few that I'm not. I shake my head and wonder why. Not that I hate the Mississippi map, because I'm a huge whitetail fan. I hunt whitetail in real life. It's my relief thing. Same as getting on here and playing games on the PS4 platform. It's a release for me. It relaxes me. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. But why Mississippi? Of all the places in the United States, why Mississippi? They could have brought out Montana or anything like that, or even go up to Saskatchewan, Kansas. I mean, if you're going to hunt whitetail, bring out the places that have the biggest, the baddest whitetails you can hunt.
You know, it's weird for me because the thing I love most about the Mississippi map is also the thing that's the most irritating, and that's the alligator hunting. Love it because it's different. Love it because it's a unique animal that's not on every map. However, man, they're almost always in the water, and if they're in the water, you better be close, and I mean, you better do an absolute precise shot, or it's just a wasted animal. It's so hard to find them on land and get close enough to them to get a shot.
Actually, I'm going to say this. You're probably not going to believe me. But if you're going to hunt the Mississippi map, and you're going to hunt for alligator, you're better off taking the bow. I killed them so easy with the bow, it didn't matter whether they's in the water or on land.
And I have to say that I have been there, and he has killed it with a bow, but at the same time, I've taken I even used, what's that nitro? That double barrel that drops Cape Buffalo with one bullet. 460?
Here.
There's a double barrel gun on here, and it's something nitro. I believe it's 460. I could be wrong on the number, but it's crazy powerful. Its penetration's at 100%. And I've shot the alligators with it, knowing that I was going to ruin the trophy, but simply just wanting to get the one-shot kill and get the alligator, mainly for my trophy lodge. But even at that, no. Yet you hear him say that he killed it with a bow. So, you know, maybe it's me, but I wish that they would make them a little bit less attentive when they're on land, so that you can get a little closer to them and be able to take a few more of them easier. But other than that, it's still cool because it's a unique animal, and it's the only map that has something like that.
And once again, I'm going to go back to what we were saying a little bit ago about the animals attacking you. In real life, alligators are very aggressive. On the game, not so much. They're more apt to run than attack. And I have been attacked by them. But pretty much they're more apt just to take off and flee.
But you'll still catch me on that map, spending hours, hours hunting them. I don't know, it's just fun. I like the unique animals. That's what I like about the different maps, and I would love for them to come out with an Australian map, honestly, just for the different animals that would be available.
Right. And I thought that the African map would have a larger variety. I mean, there's a good bit of variety to it. But I thought it would have a larger variety to it, more dangerous animals other than lion.
Right, and there's no rhino, there's no hippo, there's no elephant, there's none of that on there. It's kind of odd. Is there? I don't even think there's leopards.
Yeah. No.
So they could definitely add a few more diverse animals to that map.
And here's the other thing. on the bottom right hand side of my screen, you see 5 for how many cards I have in the list, and my inventory is 326. But to the left of that, you'll see a compass. Okay, and you'll see that green V coming off the middle of that compass. Well, the point of that V, see how it widens out? Well, the wide part of that is the direction that the wind's blowing. A lot of people have gotten that wrong over the years, where people think, well, the wide part is the way the wind's coming. No, the small part of that V is the way the wind's coming. And you're going to want to pay attention to your wind on this, because they do sense you bad. They can sense you clear over a hill. Couple hills away, actually.
They can. So you're almost going to always want that green V to be pointing down towards the bottom of your TV, where you know the wind's blowing at your face, passing you, and spreading out as it goes behind your character. As you get close to an animal, it's absolutely impossible to keep it that way all the time and find anything, but
Right.
as you get close to an area and start stalking an animal, definitely pay attention to that. And be crouched. Don't think that you're going to walk or run or even go through shrubs without them picking up on it.
Even though there's a lot of videos out where people just flat out run. In real life, they wouldn't do that. And, you know, you do run on animals when you're flat out running. But your guy will get winded, and it will be hard to scope in. And that's the other thing we're going to bring up while we're doing this. Your scope. Now I'm going to push down on my R3 button here. See how my scope goes steady? Well, give it a second because I got to build up. But he is going to start, see that heartbeat down there on the right hand side? Now look at my scope. It takes way too long for that heart to settle back down for you to be able to get back on that scope.
Mm-hmm.
Now in real life, I gotta stand there and hold my scope all day long and not shake like that. We're pretty much about games being close to realistic and graphics. Those are the two big things we go for. We do play games that are kind of cartoony. We're not a big fan of them, though.
No, it's one of the things that got us away from the war games, is when they become all super jump over buildings, jetpack, laser weapons, all that kind of stuff.
Right. I don't know, if you watch this video and you're wanting a good hunting game and you're a hunter, this game's right up your alley.
Yeah, yes it is. Should be anyway. It's because it's definitely one of the best. And I've played a lot. Cross has played a lot. I used to love Cabela's, different games, but this is probably my favorite that I've played in a very, very long time. Hence the amount of hours and everything that we've spent on it.
See the bear, he's quartering two. Now I can take that shot and walk it, but that's only because I'm experienced and have played the game a long time. For beginners, that would not be a shot that you would want to take. It's not a big bear, it's a female, so I'm going to let her go. And there comes another one. Now that's a level 5. You can see their level on them. He's a level 5 medium. And it also shows you their trophy rating. He is not a diamond. To have a diamond, it would have to be a level 7. Then they do have level 8. It would be legendary, but your legendaries will not come in diamonds.
And Cross, correct me if I'm wrong here, but how you're highlighting the animals and it's showing you their levels and everything, I believe that's something that comes with leveling up. So if you get the game and start off and you scope in and you're not seeing everything we're seeing, just stick with it, because as you level up and get the scopes and build your character up and everything, you start being able to have different perks like that that you may not have right off the bat.
Correct. You can see my ranking and all that when I pull up my map, but I have spent a lot of hours on here. I mean, we have played for days straight without even going to bed.
Embarrassing, but true. But don't let that scare him off either, because we're not saying it takes 48 hours of straight playing to get your character leveled up to where you can see that. It's just we like this game enough that even after being leveled up to that point, we still continue to play it that much. So.
Correct. And it's a game for all, too. My nephew loves getting on here and game with us, but he's only 9. It's not just for, you know, teenagers, adults. It's for all ages. And if you're wanting to teach your kids about hunting and show them some of the safety, and this is the way of teaching them too, rather than taking them to the woods, get them on here and tell them, you know, this is what you do, this is how you do it, now you're doing that wrong. So what you apply to them on this game, if you know, want to teach a kid about hunting, this is a good game for that too.
Well, because if they just pull up and just fire off a random shot and just hit the animal in the side of the leg, if you did that in real life, now you've got an injured animal that you're probably not going to find. Same thing on this game.
It's like my nephew, when he started playing with us, we would tell him, you know, don't shoot that one like that yet. Wait till he turns broadside.
And you can get really, really, really in depth. I mean, right now we're walking around, he's doing this stream video for y'all, and we're trying to give you helpful tips, but I mean, they've got decoys and scent covers for all the right animals, and like we were talking about earlier, tree stands and tripods. I mean, you could really, really, really dive into this by putting out decoys and scent sprays and calls, and Cross has called in a ton of animals to him before doing things like that, so...
And diamonds too. I mean, if I'm gonna hunt diamonds, and we will do a video on that one day.